I often get asked about the different levels of our consciousness. To help explain this, imagine an iceberg. So the part that you see is our conscious activity. It's that conversation that we're having. It is solving a math problem. It is reading a book. That's our conscious activities. And below the surface is the greater part of that iceberg. That is our unconscious. So our unconscious level really takes in all the details. It takes in everything that you've seen, everything you've experienced, everything that you've heard. And through the subconscious, which is the line that separates, more so than separates, it kind of filters the information from our unconscious into our conscious. So think of it as that part of us that has been created by our beliefs, our training, our experiences, things that people have said to us. That is the filter through which the unconscious comes through into our conscious mind. And the part of this consciousness that hypnosis really taps into is that subconscious. Okay, so it is that part of us that is our behaviors, our patterns, our limiting beliefs. It's the thing that kind of filters through the experiences that our unconscious has. And our unconscious is it doesn't have opinions. Okay, it simply observes, and it is a place of love for all things, all experiences. It's a storehouse of everything. And something that's really interesting that will give you a little bit of an example of how the subconscious works, how it filters things out, is you're at a party or a large group of people and there's lots of noise, there's lots of chatter going on, and you're trying to have a conversation with somebody and there's all this chatter. And then somewhere from back here, you hear your name. So I hear the name Lisa, and right away I think, oh, somebody's calling me. And so out of all of the noise, all of the chatter, which the unconscious is picking up, the unconscious part of you is taking in absolutely everything, every detail, every sound, every smell, everything around you. The subconscious is the filter that is filtering all the extraneous stuff out, but goes, oh, wait, this is important. Somebody called my name. And so through that filter, now it's brought into my conscious mind, and I can address that or not address it. It's obviously a choice at that point. But the interesting thing about the subconscious is it is automatic. And so if you have certain filters in there that allow you to see things perhaps in a negative way, or a way that doesn't serve you, a way that doesn't help you, it can, and it does, really kind of dictate how your life goes, the choices that you do make. So by using hypnosis, we can tap into that subconscious part of you, that part that filters from the unconscious to the conscious mind, and help you to reprogram the filter that is coming through. So again, everything in the unconscious is essentially meaningless. So life is meaningless. The only meaning that it has is the meaning that we assign to it. And the meaning that we assign to things is being filtered through the subconscious. Again, if you have or are experiencing certain habits, behaviors, feelings, and emotions that are no longer serving you, or you're caught in a spiral of rumination, there's essentially something within that subconscious pattern, that subconscious filter, that is keeping you stuck. It's not allowing you to see things in a different light. It's not allowing you to respond differently, because that filter it's stuck. Okay. it is something that, so for example, here's a positive example. You are taking the same route from work to home and home to work, right? Again and again, day after day. And we've all experienced this, where we get to our destination and we don't recall every single corner or the lights or the stoplights, or if somebody passed us, or if we stop for somebody in a crosswalk. We just do those on an unconscious level. Okay, so there's that unconscious that is taking over the driving, and the subconscious is, again, filtering things through just enough that we take action on it. Okay, just enough to know that, oh, there's a stoplight coming up, I'm going to stop, but I'm still thinking about maybe that argument that I had earlier in the day. Right? So there's one example of how we just are acting and reacting automatically, although the subconscious will allow certain things to come into our active mind. Now, if we have certain habits or behaviors that we know aren't serving us, so for example, emotional triggers, there's people in our life that just they know how to push those buttons, but those are our buttons. We own them. Okay, those buttons reside somewhere in that subconscious level, and it's triggering a reaction through this subconscious filter that we have applied to the meaning of what this person's doing or saying. And it might be smoking. It might be the habit of, eating junk food at night while watching Netflix. It might be, anything that is making you feel resistant. It's making you feel, or the response is something that we would call negative. The meaning that we would put to it is negative. And with hypnosis, again, we can get into and tap into that subconscious programming that's there and instill something new, instill a new meaning, a new perspective. And it doesn't take away what happened, if there was an incident or a situation that happened. What it does do is create a new filter through which you can see and respond. So you're no longer stuck in the past, in the heavy, the weight, the trigger, the subconscious pattern of choosing something that isn't healthy for your enjoyment of life. You can still see it and recognize it, but now it's through that different subconscious filter of something fresh, something new. And it allows you to make new choices that are more in alignment with your soul, with feeling better, feeling happier. No longer do these things have control over you. You now have control over them and your response. And it brings a sense of calm, of peace, of awareness, as opposed to uncontrolled reactivity. You're now in charge. You're now in control of how you respond. And the beautiful thing about hypnosis is that it can help you do that very, very quickly, right? So we tap into the unconscious and we tap into new ways of allowing yourself to respond, okay? And there's another type of consciousness that I haven't yet spoken about, and that is this idea of the superconscious. So if the consciousness is our active mind, it's our current mind, it's the sort of doing and experiencing mind, and the unconscious is this non-judgmental, observant part of us that comes from a place of love. Everything comes from a place of love. And then it's the subconscious that assigns the meaning to things. The superconscious is that idea or concept that is greater than everything. Okay, it's that idea or concept of God, source, the all-knowing, the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it, the Akashic field. And that is our connection to this even higher realm. So there's the consciousness, the here, the now, the present, the active mind, this conversation that we're having, the subconscious that filters everything around us, and the unconscious that is absorbing and taking in everything around us, kind of like our higher self, that's connected to the superconscious, which is the overseer, the Akashic field, the energy of everything and all things. So I hope this helps you have a bit of a better understanding of these different aspects, different parts of us. The tip of the iceberg, the line in the water where it's the iceberg is sort of in the open air versus submerged. The consciousness, the subconsciousness, and the unconscious part of us is that submerged iceberg. And then the super consciousness is the ocean. Not just one ocean, but all oceans, linking and tying everything together. The overseer, the holder of all knowledge, all experience. And if you have any questions regarding this, I'd love to just chat. Drop them in the chat or the comments box, and let's continue the conversation. And if you have any questions about hypnosis and how it can help you, simply DM me or reach out to me through my website, soulsynchronyhypnosis.com. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon.